Hello, welcome to another Burgundy with Tweedy video. I put up a tarp today. You can probably see this green thing. I'm not sure it's absolutely necessary. It's been threatening to rain, so I don't know, there just in case. Grim weather recently. There are some signs of spring. It looks like the patch of bluebells just over there opposite me are finally starting to flower. I thought I would try a different wine shop that I haven't been to before. It's called the Salisbury Wine Store. It's over in northwest, quite west London, near Queen's Park, or Bronsbury Park is it called? It's not an area of London I'm at all familiar with, but I had seen on the web somewhere that they had a pretty decent selection of Burgundy, and indeed they do. Quite a lot of it at fairly significantly high end, I would say. A lot of bottles well over £100, even a couple sort of touching 4 digits. I went for the much more modest end of their offering today. As always, I'm on the lookout for under the radar Côte de Nuit Burgundy. This is just a generic Bourgogne Rouge. The producer is Thierry Mortet. I think I've had something from this producer before. So it's their base level Bourgogne Rouge. It does have a sort of cuvée name, Les Charmes de Daix, D-A-I-X. Never quite sure how to pronounce French words when there is an X on the end. Some reports I've seen of this have said that it is from parcels within Gevrey-Chambertin, but for some reason just isn't classified as village level Gevrey-Chambertin. Other reports I have seen say that it is in fact from the village of Daix, D-A-I-X, which actually is to the west of Dijon, so I think that still counts as the Côte de Nuit. It is at least a 2017 vintage. That hopefully bodes well. Interesting start. We do seem to have a slightly damaged cork there and some, I don't know how to describe that, sort of scuff marks around the neck. Did come out a little bit more easily than I ideally would have hoped it to, but from about halfway down I would say that looks reasonably intact. That's looking to me, I would say, kind of on the pale side. As the pale colour probably hints at, it's quite a sort of soft, delicate sort of a nose. It's something in that much lighter sort of strawberry, wild strawberry, possibly raspberry sort of spectrum. Similarly, on the sort of lighter side on the palate, I would say. Soft berry fruit. There is a little bit of spice towards the end. Really not getting Gevrey-Chambertin stylistically there. What I look for in Gevrey-Chambertin is sort of concentration and richness and density. Don't think they're really present here. I read some other tasting notes online just now just to check this was how it was supposed to be, and there are a lot of mentions of strawberries and raspberries, so I think the fruit character probably is as it is intended. I saw a couple of mentions that it was sort of perfumed and floral, and I'm really not getting that at the moment, which is a bit disappointing, but also people said that it needed a bit of time to breathe before it really came into its own, so maybe this will improve with a bit of airing. I have to admit, at the moment I'm a little bit disappointed, but perhaps because I had the wrong expectations. This thing that we keep coming back to about the importance of expectations in wine. I was perhaps incorrectly assuming this was going to be a sort of under the radar Gevrey-Chambertin. I'm fairly sure it isn't now, based on, you know, this whole character to me really doesn't feel like Gevrey-Chambertin. That said, there was a note somewhere that it's very light extraction, and I think you tend to get more of that sort of soft berry fruit with light extraction, with that sort of strawberry raspberry sort of character. Perhaps a little bit more cherry comes into play with more heavily extracted wines. Not sure that's always true though. Fourier is fairly light extraction, and that's got a lot of cherry in it, delicate cherry. Yeah, bit of a disappointment at the moment, but perhaps it will improve if I sit here in the woods waiting for my wine to air. I've given this probably a good hour to air now, sitting here in the woods. It has developed a bit more fragrance. It is sort of vaguely perfumey and vaguely floral, but interestingly it doesn't immediately fall into the standard sort of rose or violet category that you usually get from those floral notes in Burgundy. I don't think I have the horticultural knowledge to pin down what exact flower that is I'm smelling, but it is something vaguely floral. The palate has appeared to sort of condense slightly. I don't know how rationally that can happen, but it does seem to have acquired a tiny bit more weight, probably just psychological, but it's okay. I think overall I'm still a little bit disappointed about this, because basically I thought it was going to be something that it wasn't. Oh well, you win some, you lose some. It's a difficult business, this, finding these under the radar Burgundies from these more celebrated villages that are billed as something else, and therefore literally billed in the sense of priced as something else. Win some, you lose some. Anyway, cheers.